Premier League records can Erling Haaland break?
All of them.
All of them.
Every single one, even clean sheets. Why not? He's just that much of a cheat code.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to get a little bit ridiculous. As of recording this video, we've just yesterday had the Manchester Derby game and another hat-trick, another home hat-trick, 3 in a row.
I know. I feel like a lot of United fans are just going, well, no, it was actually 3-3 because Haaland just doesn't count anymore.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
What's crazy is it's not very often in general that players score hat-tricks, right? It's quite a rarity.
Yeah.
Obviously, Phil Foden scored a wonderful hat-trick, and I think he was the first player to score a hat-trick, or one off with Haaland, obviously, in the Manchester Derby. I think. I've heard that. Don't quote me on that one, but I'm pretty sure. But the fact that no one's talking about him scoring a hat-trick says it all.
Well, yeah, I mean, he didn't get any assists, so he's obviously he's just lower again. Haaland can go and get 3 goals and 2 assists.
Yeah.
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 I mean, insanity.
He was captain of my fantasy team this week, so thank you, Erling. Appreciate it.
I'm just devastated I didn't triple captain him this week.
No, yeah, same. Anyway, let's start talking a little bit about the records he's on course to break and the records he's likely to break, and maybe even the records that are possible for him to break. Let's see how many he can do.
Yes. So with the Premier League, then we obviously have most amount of goals in the season. Now, there's technically 2 versions of this. You have Salah's record of 32 goals in a 38-game season, but then you do actually have the 34 goals that Andy Cole and Shearer both did in a 42-game season. He could probably beat all of those in 38 games.
Well, we're 8 games into the Premier League season, and he has currently scored 14 goals.
Yeah. So what does he need? Yeah, what was the other stat? He needs like 10 more goals for last season's Golden Boot.
Yeah.
In 30 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like an averagely half decent striker would hope to score that over the season.
Yeah.
So I think he might surpass last season's Golden Boot.
I would put a lot of money on him surpassing that. Look, we all know this all means nothing if he gets injured. And of course, his last season with Dortmund, he did get injured.
Yes.
It did disrupt his season.
Yes.
But the scary thing is when a lot of players have injuries, especially like recurring muscular injuries like that, I think it was his hamstring or something, they never come back quite the same. If anything, he came back better.
Yeah, it's literally the case of that old the film quote kind of thing of like, rebuild me and make me stronger. Like he's a machine. He is the Terminator of the Premier League.
He literally is.
It's absolute. I just don't understand how everyone says it takes time to get used to the Premier League. You can't just come in and go all guns blazing from the get-go. We're too physical for these people from the German league and all this. But they're coming from farmers' leagues. They're coming to the toughest league. Nah, it doesn't matter.
No. What's funny is I've seen lots of interviews with Erling over the last few days leading up to the derby, and like I think it was with Gary Neville potentially interviewing him, and he said, what's the difference with the Premier League? And he's like, it's high tempo, it's very physical. And so Gary says, well, are there any defenders so far that, have been really tough to play against, or any you worried about playing against? And he's just like, no. He's not only amazing, he's terrifying.
Yeah, he's just got that mentality that breeds winners.
Yeah.
And it's almost, okay, you could say it's arrogance, but I wouldn't say he's arrogant in the same way as maybe an Ibrahimovic or maybe like an Mbappe, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, not so much as he will sulk if things aren't, like if teammates aren't quite passing to him enough. Like he will.
He's a team player.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's not just all about him. Like he showed for getting 2 assists in that same game.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things that they say with Mbappe is he'll score the goals, but he's not going to set anyone else up. He's going to take a shot. Where Haaland, realistically, I think it was the first Foden goal with that really nice across.
Oh, it was beautiful.
But he probably could have shot from there.
Second Foden goal
Then, sorry. Yeah, he probably could have shot from there. And with his form, nobody would have said, why are you shooting?
No, exactly.
So the fact he still played that cross in to get Foden a tap in the end, really. Yeah, it just shows how much of an all-round player he truly is.
Yeah, we obviously, all the conversation is about his goal-scoring ability, but I mean, 8 matches, 3 assists is a pretty good record, to be fair.
Yeah,
for someone whose job is to score goals, having 3 assists in 8 games, I think is a good statistic.
Yeah, I mean, I would be happy with that from most wingers these days.
Yeah.
I mean, if you said to Man City, Grealish or Mahrez, 3 assists every 8 games, they'd probably be like, not the best, but we'll take that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, as a Chelsea fan, I'll take that from Mount right now.
Oh god, yeah. What's he? 0 assists in how many games? 8, I
Well,
think.
0 goal involvements
Yeah.
all season.
Mm,
No goals or assists since April. But that's a subject for another video.
yeah.
Mm.
Obviously, now we're only talking mainly about Haaland's Premier League potential here,
Yep.
and those 14 goals and 3 assists coming in his 8 Premier League appearances. He's also scored 3 goals in 2 Champions League games this season.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's amazing to see how he can transfer all the goal scoring form over.
Mm.
Because sometimes you see it that okay, these players will come over, they might get 1 or 2 in Europe, but then not in the Premiership, or maybe the other way around. But it's just he's played every game and he scored in every game, realistically.
It's a true rarity in football these days that you get a player he's not just a big game player. He's not just scoring against
Mm,
the teams that he's expected to score against. He's just scoring in games.
yeah,
Period. Like it doesn't matter who the defenders are. It
yeah,
doesn't matter who the team is. It doesn't matter what the stage is. He's just scoring.
yeah. Well, here's one for you then. Here's a big question for this
Okay.
season. So the most Premier League goals in a debut season
Hmm.
was Kevin Phillips with 30 for Sunderland.
Oh wow.
And albeit that was for a Sunderland team that I believe finished like 7th or something.
Hmm.
He's one of those players I don't feel gets enough recognition for how good of a goal scorer he was.
Yeah.
And the fact he never got a big move is almost shocking.
Hmm.
But 30 goals in a debut season. That is definitely a
Amazing.
record I feel Haaland can just,
Well, I
I
mean,
say destroy. We've got to be realistic. The chance of him keeping up this form for the entire season is ludicrous.
I've been saying that game after game, and he continues to score
Yeah.
hat tricks.
Yeah, no, like it can keep happening. Well, if Man City go through a bad patch,
Hmm.
then will Haaland drag them through it with goals, or will he kind of have the bad patch with them? We'll have to wait
Well,
and see.
this is a topic of debate as well. Like Haaland's not, yeah, he's a goal scoring machine. He's a freak of nature, but I think he does need a team that are giving it to him. He's not a Messi where
Hmm,
if the team around him are playing bad, he will just do it himself. You know, that's kind of the difference between Messi and Haaland. I think he does
hmm,
need to be provided,
hmm.
whereas like a Messi, he can make the difference even on a bad team performance. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's why Messi is the goat,
Yeah.
and Haaland is still a. I don't even like to say up and comer anymore.
No.
He's there, but he's still young. He's like the one long term issue you find with Haaland, which might be another thing to talk about, is the obviously the Premier League goal scoring record of all time is obviously Shearer with, if I get it right, 260 goals. Most Premier League goals at one club, Harry Kane with 189. So think how long Harry Kane's been scoring for, and he's still a good 70 goals away from
Mm.
Shearer. Haaland's going to have to do it a while.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
could he become the top Premier League goal scorer ever? Because will he stay at City long enough
Mm.
before he gets tempted by that Real Madrid Barcelona move?
And that's the thing. And I saw a quote from his father, Haaland Senior, forgot his first name, saying the other day that if Erling wants to, he could like basically test out every league, spend 2 years
Hmm.
in Germany, 2 years in England, 2 years in Spain, 2 years in France, and kind of just make his way through all of them, proving that he is the greatest striker ever.
Yeah, and I think that is something that always gets argued against Messi as
Mm.
such, and Ronaldo not really anymore. But it's that, can they go and do it anywhere?
Yeah.
Obviously, Messi had his bad season in France, and so they're like, is he really the GOAT then if he could only do it in one place?
Mm.
But I think he's shown this season, the last season was a blip. I think mentally there was more stuff going on than he was kind of not like was giving him credit for. The
Mm.
fact there was a lot going on in his personal life and the way he left Barcelona, and he's showing this season he is still ridiculous.
Of course.
So yeah, if Haaland can go and win a league title pretty much in all the major countries, I think it'd be hard to argue there's a better striker.
I agree.
Maybe not all-round player, but definitely a better attacker.
Now, let's just go into, nightmare world and pretend that he does stay in the Premier League for the remainder of his
Okay.
season. Let's get those records back up and talk through
Okay.
what we think he can, will, or possibly could attempt to break. Now, should we start with Premier League debut season goals?
Okay, yes. Debut season then. Current holder, Kevin Phillips, 30 goals.
Well, after 8 matches, Haaland has scored 14. So he's almost halfway to that after just 8 matches.
Yeah, so basically
30 games remaining.
He needs 1 goal every other game to beat it. Over the course of the season, I can't see how. Obviously, you say touch wood for them, maybe, as a Chelsea fan. Would never want to see him injured, but also wouldn't mind if he got a red card maybe and missed a few games.
Yeah.
No, it's one of those weird ones that as much as I want Chelsea as a Chelsea fan to win the league, I am so impressed by Haaland, and I
Mhm.
love seeing him play. That
As a football fan.
his career being ruined by an injury. It's
Oh, yeah.
happened the likes of the original Ronaldo,
Well, his father.
even his father. Yeah, you always think other young strikers like Michael Owen pops to mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like these great players at young ages just can't keep going, and
Mm.
that is the issue with him. Is he's such an explosive player? They say they are the ones most at risk
Yeah.
because the bodies can't take it for that whole football career, and that's why they kind of get a lot slower. But I also feel like Haaland doesn't need to run in the same way some of those other players did. So
Mm.
I feel like he might be more able to adapt long term.
I agree.
But anyways, sorry, that wasn't really the point.
While you're
But
on
yeah,
the topic of him potentially getting a red card, missing a few games would be nice.
yeah.
It's also important, I think, to note that he's yet to receive any booking in a
Mm,
Man City shirt, which is
wow.
for such a big, explosive, and aggressively.
Yeah, you think even just a defender taking a dive and
Yeah,
making one happen.
yeah. I mean,
I mean,
obviously, he's only
it would
played,
have been
I think,
interesting to
11
see.
games so far.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see him and Rudiger do battle
Yeah,
because he's a bit of a wind-up merchant. So,
yeah.
but yeah, I'm gonna say he, I'm he can definitely beat that
I
Callum
agree.
Phillips one.
Again, we're going on the nightmare world of him staying fit,
Mm.
staying with City. So yeah,
But
I think
I think he can miss 2 months, 3 months, and still beat it.
yeah.
That'll be the ridiculous part of it all. But yeah, okay, so I'm gonna say yes for that one.
Next record.
Next record, let's go for okay, goals in the season then, just in general. Salah's record for the 38 game season is 32 goals.
I mean, that's only two more above the debut season
Mm,
record, so it'd be silly to vote for one and not the other. So yeah, I'm going to say he will, and I'm going to say this season he will beat the Premier League 38 game
yeah, because
record.
that'll be one of the really interesting things is sometimes these players can come in of a crazy debut year. I mean, if you remember the likes of Michu,
Meet
and
you.
there's many like that who come in of a great debut season. Obviously not like Haaland, but then next year they get found out a bit, and
Yeah.
teams go, okay, we can block this guy.
Hmm.
So yeah, I feel like he almost stands a better chance this year, unless he does ridiculously keep improving. But
Oh, that's a terrifying,
yeah,
terrifying thought.
so yeah. But do you think he could beat the 34, a
Um,
42 game season?
do you know what? I'm going to go with yes. I'm
Yeah,
really curious to see last game of the season. Looking back at this video
yeah.
to see how his story played out.
Obviously, don't quote me on this because I do not believe it. But just imagine now, like he ends up with 20 goals for the season.
That would
Like
be
it would be
awful.
insane. At the position we're in now, for him to do that would be, yeah,
Yeah,
a joke.
that would be 14 and 8, and
Mm,
then that would be 6 and 30.
yeah. Okay then. So we're basically saying yes for those. Um, that's kind of okay. Do you think he could get the most Premier League goals in a single match? There are five players who've scored 5 goals in a game.
I
And just for those who are interested, is Andy Cole, Alan Shearer, Jermaine Defoe, Dimitar Berbatov, and Sergio Aguero.
really,
Yeah,
I do not remember Defoe doing that. Who was that against?
Wigan,
Oh, how long ago was that?
2009.
Okay, well, that doesn't ring any bells. No, I don't. I think literally yesterday's game against United kind of showed that, which we've already touched on. He is a team player. He's not.
Mm,
He's obviously a goal scorer. He wants the
mm,
goals, but I think more importantly, he's a winner and he wants to win.
yeah,
So I don't think he's the sort of player that's just going to constantly be, all right, I've got my hat trick. Let's try and get another. I think he's more than happy to share the success with his fellow teammates. I think that'll
I mean,
prevent him from getting that record.
okay.
If he was as
I'm I'm
greedy as Mbappe,
I'm
then
going to go on the opposite side. To be honest,
yeah.
I feel like he will want every record he can get, and basically go, I'm going to be the first to get a double Premier League hat trick.
Oh, I'd love to see it.
And I'm not just picking on a team here, but for example, like a Notts Forest,
Hmm,
when it gets to a point in a season where a team is down,
or
they
Leicester.
basically, yeah, they basically go into these games and go, you know what, it's just not going to happen. We're
Hmm,
not never going to win. Haaland just has one of his days. I could see him getting sick. Like he just doesn't need that many chances, which
that's
is
true.
the thing with him. I find is maybe those I don't know obviously the stats for all those games, but those ones who got 5 in a game, maybe they had 12 shots,
Yeah.
scored 5 goals. I if he had 12 shots, I could see him getting 8.
Yeah, I mean, his conversion
So
rate up until yesterday was what, 42%
yeah,
ish. Yesterday, I believe he had 6 shots, scored 3 goals.
yeah,
So that's improved his
yeah.
conversion rate
So
again.
yeah, that's the same. Like he needs 12 shots in the game, realistically at 50% conversion, 6 goals. I think there will be games where that is possible.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying he's going to do it more than once, but he's going to every week he's building up such a fear factor
Mm.
that it's only going to get worse. If nobody can stop him and you're a defender who's not on form,
Mm.
like if Maguire had been playing yesterday, it could have been yesterday. It just takes that 1 week where you happen to play a defender who's really not up for it.
Yeah.
And if he gets a goal in the first 3 minutes of a game
Mm.
because they start fast, then he's one of the only players I believe it could be possible with. Because he is that striker, he wants the goals, he's got that instinct, is why I think he could do it more than like a Messi, because Messi is more all round, as an example.
Yeah.
Yeah, where Haaland will just go, that record is mine.
Yeah, I mean, it's all possible. I'm at the point now where I'm not I'm not doubting him for anything.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure that's the majority of the records that he can go for. He's already broken a couple. I think he was the fastest player to ever get a hat trick, least amount of games for a team to get a hat trick.
Yep.
The other record he broke yesterday was the first and fastest player to get 3 hat tricks. Sorry, not first, the fastest player to get 3 hat
Yep.
tricks. That stat was crazy. You look at the list of, I think, the top 5 fastest players to get 3 hat tricks. I think Suarez was something like 72 games.
I think Michael Owen was second, wasn't he?
Yeah, Michael Owen was second with
Yeah.
44, I want to say.
Something like that, yeah.
And then Haaland, 8.
Yeah.
That is, cannot put into words, crazy.
Yeah. Okay, then. How about this one then?
Okay.
For another record, because this is one that's fairly recent. Most consecutive Premier League matches scoring a goal.
Ooh.
So this one was broken not that long ago. In fact, I've got it here. Oh, I say that 2015.
Oh, wow.
It felt more recent than that. Wow. Okay, getting old. Obviously, it used to be Van Nistelrooy. Now it's Jamie Vardy, who went 11 games in a row scoring.
That's such a tough record.
So could he go 12 games in a row scoring? So that's not 12 games in a row, like week by week. If he misses one, that doesn't count as not scoring. It's when he's played.
Yeah.
So he could have 2 months out with an injury, but it'd still be 12 consecutive over that time.
That's such a hard one. That's an insane record. 11 games. What was Van Nistelrooy's?
I think he was 10.
Okay.
I think Vardy only just beat it.
Yeah. I mean, Van Nistelrooy's obviously stood for quite a while. What, probably 15-ish years almost?
Yeah, you're probably looking at 12 years.
12, yeah. I said 5 minutes ago that I'm not going to doubt him with anything anymore, so I'm just going to say yes.
I think that's one of those that would probably come. I wouldn't say this season, as stupid as that sounds. Like, I think he's going to have bursts of like lots of goals. There may be a game without, and then he'll go score another hat trick. Like, he'll be that kind of thing.
Yeah. He hasn't scored in all 8 appearances, though, has he? No, he can't have, because he scored 3 hat tricks.
Yeah, no, so he hasn't. And like he showed Community Shield before. I know it was preseason, so it doesn't quite count, but it's possible for him to have an off day. If there's a team who really
also, they haven't played Chelsea yet.
I mean, that's where the 6 goals come into, right? With our defense right now. It's fine. Thiago's realized he can use his hands now, so we're a step ahead of the game. Yeah. Yeah, it's just insanity. So really, the only other one left is the all-time Premier League record, which I think it would be a joke to say he couldn't if he stayed at City.
If he stays at City, I think,
which is,
yes. He's so young. That's the advantage. Yeah. So young.
Yeah, that's where, like, you get these players like Aguero and stuff who came in and they were, I want to say, young to mid-20s, whereas he's early 20s and he started so fast. So definitely doable. Do I think he will? No. Do I think Kane will? No. But I will still say he will get a lot of goals for the time he's there.
I agree. I think if you look at like an average, I think, say he stays at City for 2 seasons, I think you could look at his goals and go, if he stayed, he would break it. But I think he'll go.
Yeah, I think he will become the fastest player to 100 Premier League goals. And I think he will be there long enough to do that.
Okay.
But yeah, I just can't see. I don't believe he won't want to challenge himself elsewhere if he's that dominant in the Premier League.
No, I absolutely agree. Well, that's pretty much all the Premier League records that we could cover, I think.
Yeah, let us know more in the comments if there's ones that we forgot. There's probably something out there like fastest goal scored and stuff like that, or fastest hat trick.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we've covered the big ones. This is obviously our second video talking about Haaland. You guys showed a lot of support to the previous Haaland videos. Our most viewed video on the channel. Obviously, we're a brand new channel. We haven't posted this anyway. We do this for fun. So getting a few thousand views on a video is awesome. So thank you for that.
Mhm.
hopefully this gets the same. As always, guys, join in the discussion in the comments down below. Let us know what you think about Haaland's chances of breaking all these records. And I guess we'll see you again on our next video. Don't know what that's going to be about, but it's going to be something football related.
Sounds good.
Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time on the final whistle.